Okay, so tonight I'm going to have some background music. Um, the neighbor's got his music going on in the background, and so some late night traffic. So if you hear anything, we're doing our tonight's Satanic Bible study at the Chapel of Scorn. So let's see here. I thought about playing music on my phone, but I don't want to play the wrong song and have the whole video taken down or something for copyright. Okay, so this would be January the 12th, and that was, we had Mike, the deacon there. So first off, he starts off with claims that God can't lie. So the first thing that popped in my mind was, didn't God say, if you eat the fruit of knowledge, you will surely die? Without eating the fruit of life, they would have died anyway. Now, they died anyway. I looked at it a little bit closer, and that may not have been so, and I'll explain why here in just a second. So, if we look at Genesis, and we look at chapter 2, let's see, I have here to read the 17th here. Give me just a second. But yeah, I wanted to read this first part. So to correct myself, I do have wrote down that, yeah, here we go. Wouldn't they have died anyway? That's supposed to be a question mark there. So to answer my own question, according to the book itself, let's be it fair for what it says. Get it some focus. Come on. I don't know why it does this. Here we go. So, out from the ground, God made every tree grow, and that it was pleasant in the sight and good food for the. So then He made the tree of life also in the midst of the garden. So the tree of life did exist, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So He made these. What was the purpose of these trees? God could live forever because He's outside of time, right? And He already knows everything. So if He never intended to give these to the deer or anything, or whatever, then what was the purpose of Him making these on top of the rest of nature? Just a little side thought. Like, why? What purpose could they possibly serve? It's just extra crap for no reason. And then, here's this part I wanted to read. But the tree of knowledge, good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day thou eatest of thou shalt surely die. I mean, it's just straight up a test. So he creates a scenario where they literally have not eaten so they do not know good and evil. They are technically naive. What is naive? When you do not know right from wrong, right? And by doing the one thing that you're, technically don't know any better than, will die. Now remember, death hasn't existed yet, so they don't even know what die means. So that's pretty messed up. Let's see here. Oh, I guess I wanted to finish that off since I had to correct myself where I thought I would add something extra to where there is some. The only person that tells the truth in here was the, quote, serpent. But the fruit of the tree. Hold on. Here we go. But the fruit of the tree is in the midst of the garden. God hath said, Yet ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. For God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. I mean, exactly. Like, what's the point of having the tree there in the first place if you didn't intend for them to fall for that trap? Like, that's what it sounds like to me. I finally slipped. It sounds like a trap to me. A test, a trap, whatever. So, let's see here. Okay, so my follow-up question with that was, how can sin be transferred person to person? You know, if Adam and Eve, they were the first, sins and stuff like that. Like, I don't understand how sin is transferred. You know, you're born into sin. I don't know. Mike continues to claim that food and earthquakes are caused by sin. Claims pain, bad relationships, crashes, etc. are from sin. Claims that all things work together for good. Claims Apostle Paul wrote at least half of the New Testament. Let's see here. Claims that when one does good, evil is near. I wasn't really sure what he was talking about, but I have as a side note that it was as if every time somebody does something, good, like the devil's around every corner. I don't know. Like, people are weird, I guess. Like trying to mess up what you're doing, I think was what he was trying to say. Problem so far with sin, this is me now. Problem so far with sin is that it only exists in Christianity, so many who don't believe in what the Bible claims as far as sin doesn't exist. So yeah, if you don't think that the Bible is true, if you don't buy into any of those claims, then, sin is not a measurable scientific thing. It's not like, eating too much or whatever. Like, it's not measurable. No evidence and claims made by the Bible. And I have on a side note here, if there was evidence, there would be no need for faith. So then let's see here. Claims we're supposed to be less like ourselves and more like Jesus. Then I have wrote on here. Didn't Jesus say, I'm not here to change a tittle of my Father's law? Jesus didn't believe in washing hands and said, obey your slave masters, even the cruel ones. And continues to claim being like Jesus is the best. So I'm going to, again, pause that there for a minute. And I also have a couple of these pre-looked up. So just a second. So the first one's going to be in Matthew. Let's see here. Oh, I see what happened. The book ate the bookmarks. The videos. This is what happened. Some of them got swallowed up. Sorry about that. This is my second time I've had to look this up. Because, somebody goofed. Let's see. The bookmark is in there. Ah, here we go. See, I told you. Ah, good. It's even the first one. So, we'll start off with Matthew 5:18. Told you it was in there. Which one is this going to be? Chapter 5. So we got Matthew chapter 5, verse 18. Where is that at? Right here. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth till heaven and earth pass, one jot nor tittle shall in no wise pass the law till it be fulfilled. So, he breaks his own 10 Commandments and has his own, quote, favorite people break that rule all the time, whether it be killing and taking over people's land. And I mean, I've already shown some of those verses. I'm not going to go over that particular thing again. At least not tonight. Matthew chapter 15, verses 11 and 20. So, let's see here. Chapter 15, verses 11. Let's see here. Not that which goeth into the mouth defile a man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defiles a man. And he does go on in dialogue about how, because what comes out of a man comes out of his heart. But specifically, to me being a smart ass earlier, I'll let you take a peek at my notes. Yeah, up there near this center. These are things that which defile a man, but to eat with unwashed hands defile a man not. So, like, he legitimately says that eating with, it's not what goes into your mouth. Like, he really doesn't care if you wash your hands. Like, it means nothing. So the last one would be Colossians, I guess, chapter 3. Now, I couldn't find the one where it said, obey your slave, even the cruel ones. I know it's in there, and I'm almost sure that one's the Jesus speech on the mound or something like that. I'm almost sure. But what did come up on Google was this one, 3:22 through 25. So, in Colossians chapter 3, verse 22, servants, obey in all things your masters according to the flesh, not with eye service as men pleasers, but in sinless of the heart, fearing God. And to whatever ye shall do, do it heartily as the Lord, not unto men, knowing that Lord ye shall receive the reward inheritance, for ye serve Lord Christ. But ye doeth wrong shall receive the wrong for the wrong that he hath done, and there shall be no respect of persons. So, yeah, the point that I made originally is, like, rather than telling them to obey your slaves and, to just, like, have a mindset that you're doing it for me, really, but, if I'm pretending I'm God, I'm like, you're doing it for me, but, it's just earth. Just deal with it for now, and I'll reward you double when you get up here. Like, no, you should have been like, kind of like defeats the whole purpose of being down there. Like, I don't know. The whole Bible is about life after death. It's not really that different than Egyptians in that sense. So it's weird. There's really no point to being here if everything you do doesn't matter. In that sense. It's all just to please him. So, okay. We'll continue with the rest of the notes. I'll end up rattling on because I don't really like that book. Okay. So, I made the same mistake I did last time. Stared at my notes. Why wasn't Jesus welcome in his hometown? Wasn't it because he knew his tricks? This is something I got from Aron Ra. I will put that in the link. I believe it was his... he did one that had to do with family values. And so I will post that in there, and you can watch that. It's pretty funny. Okay, so yeah. So then he claims that Noah parted the Red Sea, 40 years of wandering to get promised land. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Again, from that from Aron Ra video, he made a good point that if they would have followed the coast, not only would they have been there in 2 weeks, they wouldn't have got lost in the first place, rather than 40 years. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, continues to Mike's story again. So Mike went on explaining something to do with his life. I don't know, I was bored. So I didn't write that stuff down. continues to claim Jesus' death was to forgive us. Then I said, again, why does God have to sacrifice himself to forgive us for sin that we never committed? From get-go, who put naive adults in the garden with the fruit that's, quote, dangerous? As I read earlier. And then, if God is all-knowing, did know all that would happen, because he's outside of time, so he knows everything, right? Then where is the free will in any of this? So this is going on for 15. I'm going to cut it there. And I guess if I keep staying on schedule, I will be back on Saturday.